Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the last video of this chapter, current electricity. So by this concept of power, we will finish this off. So in this video, we will discuss about basically three things. We will discuss about power, what is power, and related to it, the derivations or the formulas. Then we will discuss about the power rating of appliances. So every appliance, if you see, suppose you take a bulb, you will see two things written in a bulb: 100 watt to 20 volt. So what does that mean, and from that what conclusions or what more values we can get? We will discuss about that. Then we will discuss the last topic, which is heating effect of current, which is also called as Joule's law of heating. And at last we will discuss one or two numericals related to the three concept. So that you understand this topic clearly. So let's begin this chapter. So let's discuss about the first topic, which is power. Now basically, if I tell power, basically you know what is the SI unit of power. The SI, the SI unit of power is watt. But what does that mean? Like if I say a bulb is 100 watt, what do you understand by this? Let's figure that out. So power, in basically in class 8 we have learned that power is nothing but work done by time. Power is nothing but work done by time. So power is equal to W by T, right? But if I talk about work done, what we have discussed in the previous video, that work done is nothing but energy. And from that formula, from that we have derived four equations. One of the equations was energy is equal to VIT, potential into current into time. If you don't know how I got this formula, please watch the previous video. Over there I have discussed that energy is equal to VIT, and how this VIT comes, it is all discussed in the previous video. So I'll use this VIT over here. So work done is equal to nothing but VIT and divide by time. So what you get? Time and time cancels. So power is equal to V into I. Remember, power is equal to voltage into current. This formula you have to remember, because we will be using this formula to solve many numericals. All the numericals which are given in your exercises, many of the numericals are solved by using this formula only. Power is equal to VI. And how this formula comes? I think I have derived that. The power is equal to work done by time, and work done is nothing but equal to energy, and energy is equal to VIT, which I have discussed in the previous lecture. So I substituted the value VIT over here. So VIT by time, T in time and time cancels. So power is equal to V into I. Now I can get different forms of this VI, okay, using Ohm's law. So if I use Ohm's law, what is Ohm's law states? V is equal to IR. So I substitute the value of V by IR. So power is equal to VI. So V is nothing but equal to IR. So IR into again I. So power becomes equal to how much? I square R. Okay, power is equal to I square R. And similarly, power is equal to VI, but what is I? I is equal to V by R. So I substitute the value V. In place of I substitute V by R. So it becomes V by R. So power is equal to V square by R. So these two formulas are also used. Basically this formula is also used in many of the numericals. Power is equal to V square by R. And also we use this formula, but sometimes we use this. So basically you have to remember these three formulas for power. So what I get is that power is equal to VI, that this VI also becomes equal to I square R, and I square R, this can be also then, and VI can be also derived as V square by R. So this is the ultimate form of the equation that we get. You have to remember this. Power is equal to VI into V square I square R and V square by R. Now let's talk about the SI unit of power. Power is equal to what? Work done by time. What is the unit of work done? Joule. And what is the unit of time? Second. So this joule per second is said as watt. Joule per second is said as watt. So suppose there is a bulb. Suppose I have a bulb which is rated as 100 watt. What does that 100 watt means? 100, I can write watt as joule per second, right? Watt can be written as joule per second. That means the bulb consumes 100 joule of energy in just 1 second to keep glowing. So this thing means, like for a AC, if you have seen a AC, the power rating of a AC is nearly given 3000 watt. So what does that mean? 3000 joule per second means the AC consumes 3000 joules of energy, electrical energy, in just 1 second. So that is the significance when we say the unit of power as watt. I hope you understood this concept of power. Now let's discuss the next unit, that next topic, that is the power rating. Now our next topic is power rating. So what does this power rating means? Like let's take a common example. Like often you have seen, suppose you go to a shop and buy a bulb. On the top of the bulb or somewhere in the bulb, it will be written these two values: 100 watt, 220 V. This is what you will see written in every electrical appliance. Either you take a bulb or a fan or a refrigerator or a AC or a TV, these two values, the power value and the voltage value, this will be always written on the appliance. Now from this, what do you understand? The first 100 watt is written, that means that the bulb consumes 100 watt of power. So 100 watt means what? The bulb consumes 100 watt of power, right? So means 100 joule of energy in 1 second. That basically it means the bulb consumes in 1 second 100 joule of energy. And 220 volt, that means the bulb, if it is connected to a 220 volt supply, potential difference of 220 volt, then only the bulb will glow. So the bulb will glow, or the bulb will switch on when the bulb has to be connected to a 220 volt supply. Achha, what happens if I don't have a 220 volt supply? Then will the bulb glow or not glow? The basically is, if we don't give 220 volt, then also the bulb will glow, but it will glow very in a very dim way. Not it will be glowing very brightly. It will be glowing in a dim way. So the bulb will glow to the maximum extent when you have connected the bulb to 220 volt supply. Okay, so these two these two values means this thing. Now from this, what more information we can get? We can get the resistance of the bulb. Means obviously the bulb is made up of a coil made up of tungsten. So I think you know this bulb is made up of a coil. So this coil is made up of tungsten, right? And this tungsten provides some kind of a resistance. So I can find the value of this resistance by using these two values, power and voltage. How? See, just now I told you to remember some of the formulas of power. I've just now written power is equal to VI, which is also equal to V square by R, which is also equal to I square R. So I will use these formulas. So now to calculate the resistance, I will use these two formulas. Power is equal to V square by R. Power is equal to V square by R. I'll use these two formulas, these two formulas. Power is equal to V square by R. Why I will use this formula? See, what I need to find? Resistance. What is given to me? Power. And what is also given to me? Voltage. So if power and voltage is given to me and I am asked to calculate the resistance, obviously the best option for me is to go with this formula, because in these two formulas current is given and nowhere current is provided to me. So I will use this formula to get the value of resistance. So from here, if I put the values, power is equal to how much? 100. V square is how much? 220 by R. Just substitute the values. V square. So V is 220 volt. So 220 square. So from here, R becomes how much? 220 into 220 by 100. And you cancel the zeros. So resistance becomes 22. It becomes 484 ohm. So 22 is 484. So the resistance of this tungsten coil is 484 ohm, right? What more I can get from this? I have got the resistance of this coil. One more thing I can get is the current, means the safe limit of current. I can also get the safe limit of current, means how much current or the maximum value of current that should pass through the coil. So how will I get? I will use the formula power is equal to VI. Power is equal to VI. I will use this formula. This formula was also there. So power is how much given? 100. V is how much given? 220. And current is given. Current I need to find. So current becomes 100 by 220. And this current 100 by 220, if you take now, it near about gives me value of 0.49 something 454, which is roughly equal to 0.5 ampere. You calculate 100 by 220, it gives you somewhere around this value. So this value is near about, if you take to us closest decimal, so it becomes 0.5 ampere. Means what? If in this bulb, if current more than 0.5 ampere passes, if 0.5 ampere passes, then it's okay. If current more than 0.5 ampere passes, then the coil will break or the coil will burn, because if there is more current passing, there will be more heating effect, and that heating effect will cause the coil to burn. So this is the safe limit of current. I told na, safe limit of current. So the safe limit of current is 0.5 ampere. So your current shouldn't exceed beyond this value. If it exceeds, then due to heating effect, the coil will burn and the bulb will fuse off. So we have to change the bulb after that. So this is the power rating. Now our next topic is heating effect. Just now I have told you, if current exceeds this value, then there will be a heating effect. So regarding to that concept, that is our next topic, that the heating effect, or that is also called as Joule's heating effect. Okay, so I think you understood the power rating, what these values means. I am giving you a small sum. Suppose the values are like this. 60 watt and 240 volt. For a bulb, it is given 60 watt and 240 volt. So I am giving a question, find the resistance of the bulb and also find the current, means the safe limit of current. Solve this sum and write the answer in the comment section. Okay. So our last topic for this entire chapter is Joule's law of heating or heating effect of current. Suppose you have a wire and through the wire some current is flowing. This current, when it is flowing through this wire, some heat will be produced inside the wire. So because of this current, some heat will be produced. This heat which is produced in the wire, I have to calculate that amount of heat. So firstly we have to see on what are the factors on which this heating of this wire depends. Heating effect of this wire depends. So the heating effect of the wire depends on the value of current, or depends on the square of current. Okay, so heating effect depends on the square of current square. So more the current, more the heating effect. But how it depends? Current square. Second thing, it also depends on the resistance. It also depends upon the resistance. This wire will be offering some resistance. So heating effect depends on the resistance. Okay, normally resistance, not in square. And thirdly, it depends on the time for which the current is flowing. For which current is flowing. It depends on the time. So heating effect also depends on the time. Now if I combine these three, so what I get? So heating effect is equal to I square RT. So heating effect of a wire becomes equal to I square RT. Means it depends on current, it depends on resistance, and also depends on time. And this thing is also called as Joule's law of heating. Okay, so this is also called as Joule's law of heating. Now you have completed all the topics related to this chapter, current, electricity. Now obviously I will do one or two sums related to this heating effect and power rating. So see the video, see the numericals, because it is the numericals that makes your concept stronger. Okay. Okay, so this is one question which I have selected, a very easy question initially so that you understand. Two bulbs are rated 60 watt 220 volt and 61 and 110 volt, and I have to calculate their resistances. So let's do it in this way. So let's take, suppose this is bulb 1 and I take this as bulb 2. For bulb 1, power is given 60 watt, and for bulb 2, power is also given as 60 watt. The V potential for the first bulb is given as 220 volt, and for the second bulb, the V is given as 110 volt. Now to calculate the resistance. Now how to calculate the resistance? I think I have told you there is a formula that power is equal to V squared by R. And if I use this formula, so if resistance goes over here and power can come down, you know, this is a simple mathematics, cross multiplication. So this P becomes over here and the R comes over here. So if I use this formula, it becomes how much? Resistance becomes V square, that is 220 square by 60. So resistance R1, if I take, becomes 220 into 220 by 60. If I take the second bulb, resistance 2, that is also becomes equal to V square by power. V square is how much? 110 square by power is how much? 60. So this becomes 110 into 110 by 60. Right? So I've got R1 and R2. Now I have to calculate the ratio between R1 and R2. So R1 and R2, the ratio between them. So just substitute the values. 220 into 220 by 60 whole divided by 110 into 110 by 60. Now cancel it. 60 cancels. 110 2s are 110 1 102. So ultimately it becomes 4 by 1. So ultimately R1 by R2, that becomes 4 by 1. So R1 is to R2 is equal to 4 is to 1. So this is the answer. So ratio of the resistance is 4 is to 1. I hope you understood how I did the sum. Just put the values, okay? And also, of course, this is goes without saying that you have to remember the formulas. Without the formulas, you cannot do the sum. Without the formulas. Formulas are the important part of physics, okay? Now, let's see this question. A geyser is rated 1500 watts and 250 volt. So let's write the data. So power is given as 1500 watts and the potential difference, the voltage that is required is how much? 250 volt. So the geyser requires 250 volt and the geyser is also connected to a 250 volt main. So obviously the geyser requires 250 volt and we are giving 250 volt of potential. So the geyser will definitely work to its fullest potential. Now my first question is the current drawn. Second question is energy consumed in 50 hours. So time is also given. 50 hours. So first question is to calculate the current. The energy consumed in 50 hours. So energy I have to find. And the cost which is given at 4. I also have to find the cost. So these are the three values which are given and these are the things that I need to find. So let's start with the first question. I have to find the value of current. So how I am going to supposed to find the value of current? See, again I told you, in physics everything is formulas. You have to remember the formula of power. Power done is work done by time. After that I have also derived that power is equal to V into I. You have to remember this formula. So I'll use this formula because why? Because power is given, voltage is given and I'm supposed to find the value of current. So this formula will only help me. So it becomes 1500 is equal to 250 into current. So ultimately current comes 1500 by 250, that is 6. So current becomes equal to 6 ampere. So this is question part number 1. Part number 2. The energy consumed in 50 hours. Okay, the energy consumed in 50 hours. So we have learned one thing, that energy is equal to power into time. Right? But since we are doing in commercial unit, this power will be in kilowatt and time should be in hour. Right? Because we are calculating the energy not on the SI unit, not in joules, but in commercial unit, that is kilowatt hour. Now, power is given as 1500 watt. If I need to convert that, this 1500 watt into kilowatt, so how am I supposed to do? 1500 by 1000 and that watt becomes kilowatt. Clear? So I have to write 1500 by 1000 because that will give me in kilowatt. And time is given as 50 hours. So no problem, 50 hours. So if I cancel 0, 0 and 0, 0, ultimately 15 into 5. So the energy becomes 75 kilowatt hour. Okay, not in joules because I'm calculating the electrical energy in commercial unit, so kilowatt hour. And after this, number 3, the cost. It is given rupees 4 rupees 20 paisa per kilowatt hour. Per means if a person consumes 1 kilowatt hour, the person has to pay 4 rupee 20 paisa. Now if now the person is consuming how much? 75 kilowatt hour. So he will pay how much? 75 into 4.20. And if you multiply this two, the value near about comes 315 rupees. So the person has to pay 315 rupees for this geyser which is working 50 hours. I think it is calculated for the entire month, something like that. So I think you understood the question. So the basic thing that you have to know is that formulas. You have to know this formula. So this is question answer 1. Also you have to know to calculate the energy in commercial unit, the power should be in kilowatt and the time should be in hour. So you got the second answer also. And this the third. That is the value, which is very easy. Just use unitary method. Okay, now let's see the last question of this chapter. Now this is the last question of this chapter. See, given 3 heaters, each rated 250 watt and 100 volt, are connected in parallel to a 100 volt supply. See, the important word over here is a first thing 100 volt supply. So let's draw a diagram. So suppose this is a 100 volt supply. Now there are 3 heaters which are connected in parallel. So these heaters are, I am representing the heaters. You can say these heaters are like this. One heater, the second heater, and the third heater. They are connected in parallel. As you can see, they are connected in parallel. But in generally, what we do is that in place of drawing the heater like this, we will draw the heater as resistances. Okay, because the heater will offer some kind of resistance. And these heaters are rated how much? 250 watt, 250 watt, 250 watt. And they are all works at 100 volt. So the heater requires 100 volt to work, and I am also providing 100 volt. Okay, so the heaters will perfectly work. And since they are connected in parallel, all of the heaters will be getting all the 100 volt. So they are not connected in series. In series there is a potential drop. So the first heater will get 100 volt, but the second and the third heater will not get the 100 volt. They will get reduced, lesser voltage. So that is why all the heaters are connected in parallel. So they get each heaters get this 100 volt supply. Now the total current from the supply, I have to find the current I, total current. So see, don't use Ohm's law over here because resistance is not given. Also you can calculate the resistance, but that will be not serving any purpose, because if you calculate each resistances using these two values, then basically what happens is that the sum becomes lengthy. So over here you have to use a different tactics to answer the first question, total current. What is the total power consumed? Total power, can I say it is 250 plus 250 plus 250? All of them are connected 250 watt. So that becomes 750 watt. Total power. And the voltage given how much? 100 V. So power is equal to VI. We know this formula. Just apply it, we'll get the current. So power is 750, voltage is 100, and current I have to find. Use the formula. It becomes 750 by 100, that becomes 7.5 ampere. So the current over here, that is equal to 7.5 ampere. So 7.5 ampere of current is passing in the entire circuit. Okay, so we have got the current. Now the second question is, find the resistance of each heater. So you have to calculate the resistance of each heater. So how will I do the resistance? See, it is very easy. Voltage is given how much? 100 volt. And the power of the heater is given how much? 250 watt. So I have to find the resistance, right? So I'll use this basic formula. R is equal to V square by P. So because I know this formula is available, because I told you everything depends on the formula only. So I'll use this formula to get the answer. So it becomes how much? V square is 100 into 100 by 250. If you solve it, 0, 0 cancels, 25 ones are 25 fours are. So resistance becomes 40 ohm. So this is your second, okay, number 2, second part. So resistance, the current I got it 7.5 ampere and resistance of each is 40 ohm. Now the energy supplied in kilowatt hour to the 3 heaters in 5 hours, which is I think also very easy. So energy supplied. So we know for the third part, energy supplied is equal to power, but the power should be calculated in kilowatt into time, and the time should be calculated in hour. Now power is how much? Entire power 250 plus 250 plus 250. So the entire power total is 750 watt, because we have to add the 3 powers. 250 plus 250 plus 250, 750. So power becomes 750 watt, but since I have to calculate in kilowatt, I have to divide by 1000. Now I got it. Power is 750 by 1000 kilowatt. And then time, if you see it is given, time is 5 hours. So multiply this by 5 hours. Now if you cancel, 0, 0 get cancelled. And then if you cancel, it becomes 3s are 4s are. So 15 by 4 kilowatt hour. 15 by 4 gives you how much? 3.75, I think so. So 3.75 kilowatt hour. So energy consumed is 3.75 kilowatt hour by these three heaters. So I hope you understood this concept, and you have seen if you see my entire videos, this I don't know how many I've made, I think 15-16 videos I've made. If you see the entire videos, then probably this chapter current electricity won't be so much difficult for you. And if you have any problem in understanding any part of the video, just I can give you 2 suggestions. Watch the video once more and read the book, and then if also you cannot understand, then please contact me. Notes are available in the link given below. Just go to the description box, you will find the link, and these notes of this whatever I have taught today in this lecture is all available. So I hope it helps you to achieve the marks that you desire for your board exams. So saying that, take care, bye, good night.